Hey YouTube, what's going on, everybody? What's up, everybody? Oh, I'm right here, don't worry. Let's see. Let's get on camera here. See what it is. Oh, I'm just checking in with you guys. What's up, everybody? How's it going, huh? How's everyone's Sunday going? You gonna let me talk to my people, YouTube? I promise I'll be nice. I'm being calm. All right, there we go. We got somebody. But that's probably just a moderator. I don't see now. 6-7 or nothing. Hey Leela. S2W. Oh, you're good? That's good. That's very good. Have you guys been attending my lives lately? And have you noticed that as if I go word for word like Layla, S2W, I'm good. How about you? Tell me about your day. Tell us something good, something, anything. Tell us something good you read, because today I was like reaching for magazines, looking for good, like a good quote, and all that was in there. It was very strange. There wasn't anything good. It was like there was someone next to me that I was like, I want to find. So I grabbed this magazine. I'm going through and like looking for like a good line in it to like start a conversation. And the stuff that was in that book that I was reading was not something that you want to say to someone. Like, it was very strict. That was weird. It was just weird, but whatever. So, but yeah, and then you guys, I know that you guys, it's late on a Sunday. You know what I mean? So, are you serious? Yo, Layla made the softball. That is so wild, Layla. I know how big of an accomplishment that feels to make a team, especially when you have tryouts. Because, you know, me, I got cut the year before and like I was like the best. But sometimes like a coach can like kind of get a little funny or whatever, or like personal vendettas or politics or whatever people say. um and you don't get what you want. Your heart could be in it. You train all summer and then you get cut and it's just devastating. And that kind of is when my life started to unravel a little bit, when I got cut from the seventh grade team. That hurt me hard. And then I had to work for like 3 years of like personal trainers, personal basketball trainers, Andy Velakovic, all the basketball camps all summer, all the different, like, to train. And they'd still cut me again the next year, even though I was the fastest, the tallest, the best, not the best, but pretty dang good. And so eventually when I made it, I remember what a good feeling that was. Congratulations, congratulations. Way to be a part of a group. Way to have a good enough of a standard that you feel like you're a part of something. That's great. Oh wow, Layla, you're not even subscribed? Well, I'm glad that we got to talk like this the first time you're meeting me, because sometimes things get a little wild over here. Sometimes they get a little informative, sometimes they get fun, you know, but it's all in good fun, you know. So, congratulations. Yeah, just you got practice. You got practice. That's good. That's good. Softball. I'm trying to think what I could tell you. Learn how to step into your swing. Like like not everyone swings this way. Not everyone's going to tell you. But like when you're swinging, you know what I mean? First of all, I'll teach you two things, okay? When you have the bat and you're holding the bat, and you're in your stance, all right? Get it like further behind your head and start moving it all around. Like when the pitcher's looking at you and trying to start talking to the ump or whatever, the catcher. When the pitcher's trying to touch the catch, you start swinging that bat all around, up and down, side to side, and try to get that pitcher's eye to get off his catcher just for a second and look up, and then bam, his 100% chance of is just went down to 90. That easy if you just moving the bat around. Do a little dance. It's all a game. You know what I mean? So just move around a little bit, flex the hips, whatever, and, move the bat around. You could do that in the middle of after the first pitch, second strike. Like, you could do that whenever you want. Just start wiggling the bat around, trying to distract and it's just a thing of the brain. The more things that are going on in front of someone, especially someone focusing on you, it's gonna affect their game a little bit. So there's a lot of psychological stuff. Tennis is the same way. When someone's getting ready to serve, you're supposed to move around, start walking forward towards them so that they think you're moving too much forward, and hurry up and take 2 steps back before they hit the ball. Okay, so that was your first tip, right? And then the second tip was, see, I went off a little bit too much. So the distraction and then stepping into your swing. Stepping into your swing is like once you're loaded, right? And like right before you even, of course, like before you twist your hips, before you do anything, right? The very first part of your swing should be front foot off the ground, right? And then you should be able, now this is like the end of perfecting your swing. I wouldn't try to do that right starting off. But if you get in your stance and you're waiting for the fastball, right? And the first thing, foot off, like a perfected stance, right? Foot off the ground. Take your front foot off the ground right away, right? And you should perform your whole rest of your swing with the front foot just off the ground, just a little bit, right? Nothing that no one really even sees until the end. But right as you have it off the ground, right? That's when. So it goes foot off the ground, hips forward to the pitcher, but you keep your bat up and you stay in the same position, only hips, right? So foot up, hips, and then when you feel your body starting to come back down, that's when the ball should be right in front of you. And then that's when you just let the rest of your body connect to it. That's how you swing. That's how you do it. And then, you step, at the end, the whole purpose of stepping up like that at the end is to push down, and to push down and get that extra little oomph in your swing, Make sure you use it. All right. Make sure you get some good sleep tonight too, go and always be early at practice. Always be early. Man, a concert I'll never forget. Coldplay was awesome. No, concert I'll never forget. Yelawolf was playing in Cleveland. That's good, Layla. I'm happy to hear you're going to bed. That is great, Layla. I'll try to post some more softball tips for you on, okay? Have a good night. Good night. Concert I'll never forget, guys. Yelawolf, 2016. I had like some of my friends, he was playing in Cleveland at the House of Blues, I'm pretty sure, something like that, right? And it was a sold out show. And like, I remember like 6 of all my like best friends, like from the Sandbox, were all going, And I was like, but they were sold out by the time I got word, So I was mad, right? So I drove all the way from Pittsburgh to Cleveland, which is like 3 hours, right? And this is how you sneak into a concert, okay? A paid concert. Oh shit, they're gonna take me out of the algorithm, like in the Matrix, in a fake reality. Oh, no, okay. No, you can hang around, do whatever you want, but okay, Leela. Leela. L la la Layla. Layla. I like Layla. Okay, Layla. That's a nice name, Layla. But so here's how it goes, guys, okay? I show up, right? And I'm like, man, how am I gonna get in here? Cause like they had like good security, you know? So I kind of like started like acting like I was with this group of people, right? And we're like waiting in line all the time, and there's a long line. It's getting hectic, you know? And it's starting, I'm like watching the security team starting to break down, break down, break down. I'm like, I gotta get in there. Like, this is Yellow Wolf. He's produced by Eminem. I'm like, I gotta get in there. And so I look at I go up to the first guy taking, there's two guys taking tickets, checking your phones, right? Like the first guy's verifying it and the second guy's, so I like have my phone and I like wait till it gets on, like, okay, I have my phone in my hand and I go up to the first ticket guy and I'm like, oh yeah, I got my ticket. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I walk up to him and I'm like handing it to him. And as I'm handing him the phone with a fake, like with an old ticket up or a Google Images pic, I hold down the power button and have the phone turn off right in my hand as I'm handing it to him. Like, I was like, and before I hand it to him, like, man, you better hurry up. It's gonna die, man. I paid a lot for this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not having it. And then as I hand him the phone turns off in his hand because I pushed the button, right? And I'm like, man, all these people in line here are gonna have to wait. All these people here in line are gonna have to wait until we charge this phone, do this and that, blah 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 blah. And I was like, gee, like, it's like someone's gonna end up sneaking in. I was like, someone's gonna end up sneaking into this concert. You know what I mean? You better move me, keep me going. He's like, yeah, you're right. He's like, I saw the ticket. So then he brings me up to the second guy, and the second guy, like, he's like, let me see your ticket. And I was like, oh, my phone just died, man. I was like, my phone just died. I was like, you could ask him. And he's like, hey, Chuck, did this kid have a ticket and his phone just died? And I'm like, at this point, my heart's beating out my chest. I'm like, man, this is a, and the guy in the front's like, yeah, yeah, and he's like, all right, go ahead. And they let me in, man. And yeah, the wolf, most of the time, he sat on the stool. He sat on the stool most of the time and he was pretty chill. And there's two things I remember about him that night. He had these like really like expensive looking cowboy boots on. Them boots, man. I remember they were like the pointed toe, red and white leather, like some G shit. And then, that was like when he was just touring Till It's Gone. And like that was before it was in like Sons of Anarchy and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that was before his tour. And he threw water at us too. It was cool. It was definitely cool. I've always wanted to pull that move, but I've never been in front of a crowd that looks like they want to get water poured on them yet. So, but that's definitely a goal. But yeah, the time I got to see Yellow, man, that was incredible, man. We were right in front of him, man. It was like a private show almost. It was incredible. Yeah, that's probably the closest I ever got to Eminem. But yeah, yeah, Yellow Wolf. That was probably one of my favorite concerts, man. Guapaholics in the guys. Guapaholic J. He's addicted to getting that guap. In here talking about P Diddy. Listen, man. All right, I shared my time with you guys. You know what I mean? We only share 10 minutes a day together. You guys always leave me hanging after 10 minutes, so that's it. That's all for now, I think. But I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Keep things positive, man. Oh yeah, you guys should see some of the other stuff that goes on. Like the network is so weird. The network is so weird. And if I have one last message to say before we go to bed, call tonight, um, I just want everyone to know, that I could see it. I could see it, I could just see it all. I see everyone's role, what everyone's doing, and how we're doing it, and why you're doing it, and I really see who everyone truly is. Like, And to be honest, like, you can, like, categorize people and their personalities and their lifestyles and their careers and what they do. You can categorize, like, all humans, all people into, like, 5 or 6 categories. Now there's, like, 2 out of those 6 categories are extremely rare people that are even really difficult to even, like, be in the same space as, just because they're so strict on, like, and been so experienced, like, those 2 out of the 6 are very difficult to find, study, whatever you wanna call it. Then you have 4 more, right, of categories of people. Then okay, so it's like the Matrix at that point, right? So you might have, like, these authentic people that are, like, halfway out of the Matrix, halfway in, have plans to leave and don't do it, or, like, those are, like, you have those 2, right? Then you have your agents, of course, and agents are the people that believe in the Matrix and think that it's, like, they were, like, built for it, like, or whatever, right? And then you have your, what do you call them, guinea pigs, like, people that just go to work every day and, make $70 a day and fight traffic and make a car, like, pay off their car and, mortgage and, borrow from the bank and then pay back at a huge rate or whatever, right? And then you have your madams. Madame is a woman boss that takes care of everyone. And then you have your enforcers. Now, enforcers are, um, a fun app to run too, you know? I mean, Lamona Jimenez, you know? You, mi chiamo Maps. Mi chiamo Maps. Come ti chiami? Lamona Jim. Lamona? Lamona. Very nice, Lamona. Lamona, bella. Fernando. Fernando Lamona. Ciao.